Right, got the new wheel bearings for the trailer axle. Got new seal. Actually, these are the old ones. You can kind of see how this one, the cage is all discolored compared to the new one. So that bearing got really hot, so I'm surprised it held up like it did. Actually got a kit that came with a new dust cap, new cotter pin, outer bearing and race, inner bearing and race, and the seal. And actually came as a 2-pack, so I got enough to do a whole axle. I got it off Amazon, and I want to say it was around 40 bucks maybe for the two. And that's, enough to replace all the bearings on one whole axle. So, I'm going to work on getting the races put in. Get the races put in. And then get my bearings loaded up with some grease. And work on getting that put back on the trailer so I can get my trailer done. That's the only thing left. I got the new tires all put on. So this is the only thing I have left to do to get the trailer done up. So let me work on getting the races put in and get the grease loaded up in the bearings, and I'll get back with you. Right, got the new races put in the hub. I don't have a fancy race driving tool or anything. I just take a good square nose punch, get the race started, and then you just kind of use your punch and a hammer and just work back and forth on either side of your race. Just nice and gentle. Don't want to chip off the edge of your race. Don't want to scratch the surface of the race. So just nice and easy all the way down until it's done. That's how I do them. So let me get the bearings loaded up with some grease, and we'll finish getting this thing together. Right. Figured I would show you here real quick if I can do this one-handed or not. Oh, I just got grease all over my phone. That's okay. How I load the grease in my wheel bearings. A lot of guys will put a dollop of grease in the palm of their hand and tap it in place. Or they make a nifty little grease cup thing where you can put the bearing in there and it'll squish the grease all up in your bearing for you. I kind of keep these Amazon Prime padded packages, and I will put a dollop of grease in the center of it. And as you can see, I've already started on this bearing, but just take and kind of dollop the back side of the bearing. The back side of the cage has got a wider gap than the front side, and so as you tap your bearing into that grease, it forces the grease up through the bearing. And so that's how I've done mine for quite a while now. Works out pretty good, and I don't have to get both my hands all nasty, because I don't like wearing latex or rubber gloves. So this is how I get mine filled up with grease. I don't have a nifty little applicator tool or nothing, so this is just how I do mine. Alright, got the trailers all done up. Haven't recorded outside much because it's way too windy. The neighbor's been going by with his tractor several times. I've got all brand new tires on the trailer. I've got the jacks all lubed up so it works better. I got me a spare tire mount. Bolted it on. I need to cut my little tails off the bolts yet. That was about, 25 bucks for it. Got the new wheel bearings put in this front hub. Got that all put back together. I did find I've got a wire for this marker light is broken, so I've got to run a new wire over to this marker light. The lens is broke, but the orange LED light itself still works. So let me get in here out of the wind, and we'll discuss what we got going on next. Alright, now that we're in out of that wind, got trailers all done, except for I got to run that one wire And that inner fender, I gotta weld that inner fender up a little bit. And the trailer should be good to go for a while again. But I do have some other stuff here now. This is a fuel tank that fits a late 70s, early 80s K5 Blazer. It's a 25-gallon fuel tank. The plan is it's going under the 48 here in the back. So I can do away with that box and fuel cell on the bedded. I got the fuel tank off of Amazon. Came out of Canada. This is a fuel sender and pickup tube. It's got your pickup tube, a return line if you need it, and a vent. And then there's your wire for your sending unit. I think the fuel tank was 167, I think. I can't remember offhand how much the fuel center unit was. And then I got straps. These are fuel tank straps to go with it. Hopefully those will work. We'll have to see if I can use them or not, if I have to make up my own stuff. I haven't gotten under the truck yet to see if it's going to fit. I'm sure it will. It should fit just fine. This is the original 48 frame on this truck yet. And I know a lot of people are putting those Blazer fuel tanks in the back of your standard 48 frame. So that should be able to fit in there just fine. I'll just have to get underneath there and try and get it figured out. See what I'm going to have to do to probably some cross bracing and stuff like that to mount to. But that'll be another day project. Got the alternator in for the WD Allis Chalmers, so we can convert that from generator to alternator. Much simpler system to worry about. I'll have to get a volt gauge, and I'll need an on-off switch. My tractor is magneto driven. It's not got your standard coil and distributor. So there's not really a power on switch for it. There's just a ground out switch to kill your magneto. So I'll have to have the alternator and get it bolted up on the tractor, and then run the wire from the alternator to a switch, and then from the switch to the meter, and then from the meter to the battery. And then otherwise, if you just run it straight to the battery, you don't know what you're getting volt wise, and so you want to run it through your meter, and it'll have a back draw, and you'll be pulling juice all the time. So you got to have it a switch in line to keep it from doing that. So that'll be another project for another day. My next thing will be probably to see about fitting the fuel tank under the 48, so I can see what metal I need to get, or if I have some scrap stuff laying around, or what we got going on there. But for now, I got the trailers done up. I think I may get the stuff off the bed of the 48, see if it'll fire up. I got to run to town and get a couple things. So I may just take the 48 in town, or I may say the heck with it and just take the 08 Silverado into town. Just haven't made up my mind yet. But anyway, rambling on. So that's it with the trailer for now. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.